The journey toward Te Mānia begins not with the structure, but with the land. As one descends the rolling hills, the initial impression is dominated by the vast, rhythmic rows of avocado orchards. It is a descent into a specific atmosphere, where the air feels heavy with the scent of the earth and the promise of something unconventional tucked away in the greenery. In the distance, the house eventually reveals itself, though it avoids the typical silhouettes of domesticity. It does not sit upon the land so much as it emerges from it. The architects at Stevens Lawson designed the form to echo the jagged, ancient presence of Te Mānia Peak and the meandering, fluid lines of the Tukituki River, creating a silhouette that feels ancient and geological. The structure is intentionally divided, splitting the experience of home into two distinct emotional states. This anti-house philosophy rejects the standard singular box, opting instead for a dialogue between two separate pavilions. This physical separation forces a connection with the environment, requiring the inhabitant to step into the world to move between the different modes of living. The primary social hub, known as the Te Mānia room, serves as the extroverted heart of the property. It is a bold statement of presence, clad in weathering steel that has matured into a deep, burnt red-orange. This rusted skin makes the building look as though it has been forged by the sun and oxidized by the very air it inhabits, grounding it firmly in the landscape. In contrast to the vibrant exterior of the main hall, the sleeping house offers a retreat into silence and introspection. Its exterior is composed of in-situ cast concrete, presenting a face that borders on the brutalist. It acts as a fortress of calm, a heavy and grounded counterpoint to the more expressive and social nature of the living quarters. Moving between these two structures, one becomes acutely aware of the continuous, naturalistic experience the architects intended. There is no traditional foyer or grand hallway. Instead, the transition is marked by the sky and the wind. The architecture serves as a frame for the terrain, ensuring that the inhabitants never lose sight of their place within the wider ecosystem. The social wing is designed to be visceral and raw. The materials here, weathered steel, dark waxed metal, and natural slate, create an atmosphere that feels more like a sophisticated cave or an elemental shelter than a modern lounge. It is a space designed for gathering, where the fire and the view are the primary focuses of life. The integration of the landscape is made seamless through the use of highly engineered, oversized glass sliding doors. These panels are so discreet they nearly disappear, dissolving the boundary between the interior warmth and the rugged exterior. When opened, they slide completely into hidden wall pockets, effectively turning the room into an open-air pavilion. The introverted sleeping house provides a necessary softening of the experience. While the exterior remains tough and concrete heavy, the interior transitions into a palette of pale oak and mossy greens. This shift in materiality signals a change in pace, moving the inhabitant from the dramatic energy of the living space into a state of quiet immersion. The client's heritage is subtly woven into the fabric of the building, specifically in the overhead details of the social wing. A spotted gum ceiling acts as a warm, wooden canopy, offering a nod to Australian roots while providing a textural contrast to the cooler slate floors beneath. It adds a layer of personal narrative to the otherwise elemental architecture. Te Mānia stands as a testament to the idea that architecture should be a harmonious dance with its surroundings. It refuses to dominate the peak or the river, choosing instead to mimic their movements and textures. It is a courageous project that prioritizes the feeling of a space over the traditional functions of a residential floor plan. Ultimately, the narrative of Te Mānia is one of magic and raw connection. By breaking with convention, the architects have created a sanctuary that feels both out of the ordinary and deeply inevitable. It is a place where the distinction between the built environment and the natural world is not just blurred, but entirely redefined.